What's up, everybody? It's Mover, C.W. Lemoyne, author of the Spectre series and the Alex Shepard series. I know it's not Monday. I wanted to make a quick video before tomorrow, which is Mondays with Mover, talking about a quick update on what's been going on. A lot of people have been asking about Tyndall and Hurricane Michael. So, as you know, last week Hurricane Michael made landfall as a strong Category 4. They think it might even have been a Cat 5. At Tyndall Air Force Base, the anemometer stopped reading at 111 knots. So the damage was pretty significant. The eye wall passed right over Tyndall Air Force Base and pretty much destroyed everything in its path, including the neighboring Panama City Beach, and especially Mexico Beach, which was just obliterated with storm surge and winds. So pretty rough storm, kind of reminiscent of Hurricane Andrew, which hit Homestead in the early 90s and destroyed that Air Force Base as well. So it has affected a lot of friends of mine. As you know, 2 weeks ago I flew the T-38A for the first time. I flew 4 flights there. My plan was to be or it still is, to be an adversary pilot, flying the T-38A against the F-22 as a reservist down at Tyndall. And then this week, or the week of the storm last week, on Tuesday I was supposed to go down, start a set of orders just for the week, and get my check ride on Saturday. And on Tuesday they issued the evacuation order and said, don't come down here. So it was a very strong storm that escalated quickly. It went from, when they first saw it down in the Yucatan, it was, a tropical storm, maybe a Cat 1, and then it was like, okay, it's going to be a Cat 1, maybe a Cat 2, and then 24 hours prior, all of a sudden it's a Cat 4, Cat 5. If you've seen the news, the damage not only was catastrophic to the base commanders came out and said basically it's uninhabitable. There are places that they're just going to have to sift through the wreckage. The base housing was destroyed. Every single building got some level of damage, from severe to just they're going to have to bulldoze it, to just a little bit of roof damage. So it's going to take a really long time to rebuild the mess that Hurricane Michael has created. You've seen some of the reports too that there were aircraft damage, not just static display. Like there's a common picture of an F-15 upside down. Well, that's just in a park. That's an F-15 on a stick that hasn't flown in several years. That it's just for display purposes. However, they did show some QF-16s, MU-2s, and F-22s that were damaged, and people were asking, well, how could that be possible? Well, every aircraft that's flyable in a storm like this, having been Homestead, New Orleans, and now Tyndall, every aircraft that's flyable is going to fly out. The protocol is typically those that are in some kind of heavy phase maintenance or some kind of heavy maintenance, that they're not flyable and they can't get the parts to get it fixed in that amount of time, or it's down for repairs. Any aircraft that wasn't flyable, they take it and they move them into the hangars, because the hangars typically can withstand Cat 2, Cat 3 winds. No one expected this, and people ask, well, why didn't they truck them out? There's just not enough time. So while it is a travesty, it certainly wasn't. This is just an act of God, and it's just stuff happens. Nobody, you can't blame anybody for that. But most of the aircraft were evacuated, and they're going to do their best. I'm confident that maintenance and Lockheed Martin and all those folks are going to go down and do the best they can of fixing the aircraft that were damaged. So, but a lot of people want to play the blame game, and I just don't think that's fair. More importantly, things can be fixed, buildings can be repaired. The cost on the people is kind of what this video is about. Several of my friends in the 301st, the Reserve Squadron, have lost everything, from minor to moderate damage on their homes to some people, all it's left is a slab. I mean, just complete obliteration, including, the T-38 video I posted there. My instructor, he's one of the victims. He lives in the local area. He's sifting through the wreckage right now. So what I'm asking, if you can, I don't like to, solicit money or anything like that, but this is a worthy cause that I believe in, and I will back it up. There's a GoFundMe that I'll put the link in the description, created by one of the pilots in the squadron to get supplies, get chainsaws, get generators, start picking up the pieces and rebuilding. So if you can, $10, $5, $50, whatever you can afford, would really help out a lot, because as there's stuff insurance won't cover. There's stuff that just needs to be done now just so they can start, just finding out where they are and assess all that damage. So if you can, please support that cause. It's very worthy, and we'd all very much appreciate it, because these are people. This is the human toll, and the way forward after this, once everything's built, I mean, no one can say at this point. It's just too early to assess the damage and stuff. I hope that I believe that Tyndall will rebuild, but it may take a while, because it's just, I mean, like I said, the wing commander came out and said the damage was catastrophic. So it's going to take some time to put everything back together. So anyway, tomorrow, Monday's Mover will return. It's a part 2 of my interview with Gonky. I filmed that prior to the hurricane, so that's why this is kind of a separate video, and I kind of wanted it to have its own video separate from that, just to kind of reach out and explain what's been going on. But it's a bad time. It's not. It'll probably be a while before I fly the T-38 again. It'll probably be a while before anybody flies anything tactically. But that's something that we'll deal with later. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy tomorrow's video, and I will see you next time.